Not much Tennessee baseball gear, but trying to show them love because
There you go.
10-1 against Vandy. Been talking trash all day.
Morning, Grant. Morning, everyone. Start up questions with Bobby.
Grant, asked Derek about his kind of role, in the short role and screening in this series, doing a ton of it. What have you kind of seen from that part of his game, and what do you think makes him successful in that role?
Yeah, it's based off of coverages, really. Maintaining matchups, so it gives him opportunity to just create, be a playmaker. Him and Smart have done a great job of it most of the year when we've gone to our small action. So whether that's through scoring, whether that's through playmaking for others, or just, creating actions and getting the defense moving, he's been doing a great job of that. And we got to continue that as the rest of these playoffs go on.
And you guys have had a variety of players screen for each other and, different two-man games that you've tried to create. And, you've gotten going as a screener at times. Just what kind of leads to those things? I know you talk about the coverage there, and just what goes into setting a good screen and being successful in that role? Yeah,
it also depends on exactly who's guarding you, what coverage they're in, and also similar to depending on the series. So like when a guard may be on you, you might have to hit low and roll and get under out and be able to create for others. Sometimes you might have to stick a screen because they're either not trying to switch and they're not necessarily showing. So a lot of times for us, it's just a matter of understanding what the coverage is for the other team and then taking advantage of that, manipulating that one way or the other to get not only our stars good shots, but also everybody else on our team.
They finally went to the Duncan Robinson handoff game a ton last game. How is your defense well equipped to be able to handle chasing over and dealing with the risk of like handoff and slipping and stuff like that?
Yeah, you just have to play hard against this group, I feel like, because Duncan's not going to stop moving. We've known that since the day I came into the league when we played him in my rookie year. And he's an elite shooter. And it's one of those guys that you just have to kind of rotate bodies and make sure that, if anything, make him tired to those shots end up being short and stuff like that, because he's going to be flying off the screens. He's going to go into the paint and fly out. So you just can't lose track of him on relocation threes, the handoffs. You just got to make everything hard for him, no matter if it's just flying off a screen or if it's just standing in the corner. He's one of those guys that you kind of want to take out of those actions, not give him open looks so he can't catch fire.
Your defense all year, you guys switch so much. It's like you're not chasing across the court as much as maybe some other defenses. So when you're going up against a team that has a ton of off-ball motion, the way that these guys do, the way team you might face in the next round if you make it there does, is it a difficult, does it change the way you have to think about your defense?
I feel like we've done a great job of adjusting throughout the entire year. We have a base coverage, but oftentimes I feel like we can play any way with our personnel. There's times we played in drop. There's times we played where we've had to be aggressive and blitz a guy, like when we played the Mavs back in the day. And there's been times where like teams like these, you have to maintain matchups, because if you start switching them, I feel like they start getting the things that they want, the slips to the basket, the layups, the easy shots, because flying off of threes and everything like that, like you're gonna have to make a lot of those consistently and at a high rate. And so for us, it's just making sure that every one of those is challenged and make sure that every single one of those isn't a clean look to get them going for anything else.
Then your offense, or the whole team's offense, has evolved over the course of the year, especially like in February, where you guys found some semblance of consistency and just found ways to change the way you're operating when you would get stuck in the mud in the past. What was your part of that process, you think, and how did you find you were able to find more of your role as the offense got better?
Yeah, for our offense, it's just improved from not only just our playmakers seeing the game better, but also for guys being a little more involved and getting movement. So we do a great job of making that extra play, extra pass. And for me, it's just not only just knocking down shots, but say, for example, they do make the extra pass and guys close out on me, being able to now make that read and being able to, like, whether that's a shot, whether that's driving by and making sure getting that kick to somebody else. It's really just about making the right play each time. And that's something that I feel like our offense has consistently done, especially since February. And for us, it's just about maintaining that and understanding that defense is our priority, offense is going to come.
This may surprise everyone, but I have a few, Grant. What kind of mentality do you guys have to have in this game tonight to be able to kind of block out all of that outside noise already anointing you to the NBA final?
Yeah, you can't look past a team at any stage. You can't think about the next game before you take care of the one that you're focused on. And for this team especially, this is a team that's going to come out and give you their best shot and their best punch. And you have to be willing to withstand that and also compete through it, because this isn't a team that's just going to lie down. They don't have guys like that on their team. So for us, it's a matter of understanding that today is the most important day for us. You can't look past it. You want to take care of this on your home court, and you want to make sure that not only you come out with the right intensity, but you come out engaged, because you don't want to give any hope or life to a team that may have been dealing with some cool injuries and everything like that. But you don't want to give them any chance to kind of have that exuberance, that pep to come back and hopefully bounce back. So for us, we were in that position last series, so we understand the intensity and physicality and everything that you kind of have to play with and expect to see. So for us, it's just a matter of now we're going from, I guess, Amy said, the hunted to the hunter. So we have to do a great job of adapting to that and being consistent in our own mentality.
And then all of that being said, do you feel like you guys have been wearing teams down in these series?
Yeah, I guess the physicality, the intensity that we play with can definitely drain teams. And for us, we can't really focus on that. For us, it's not playing with the right energy, make sure that we can control every single night. And at the end of the day, that's how we have success. If we start focusing on the other team, it distracts us. So for us, it's more so just do exactly what we need to do our job, and understand that that's what it's going to take for us to win. Nothing more, nothing less.
And then the kid wrote a great feature on you and PJ Tucker. So I just want to expand on that. What has it been like for you going up against him? And do you see him as someone who's kind of paved a way for the role that you are now filling?
Absolutely. There's guys like him, some guys in the past, whether that's Portis, whether that's Draymond, guys of that nature. They paved the way for guys like myself in the future, hopefully EJ Liddell, sorry, my bad. And guys like that for next steps, the quote tweeners of the class, the quote guys who don't necessarily play a position, they're positionless. Like, they definitely have given us a great opportunity to grow in this league. And it's definitely fortunate enough to be able to play against them and compete with them every single night, and to be that young hopefully next guy, exuberant. That's the plan and goal. So it's a credit to them, what they've done in the past and what they're continuing to do right now.
I mean, you do have to have something special, though. What is it about you that it enables you to do this?
Yeah, I think it's not only just the physicality, the ability mentally, and also the shooting and all that. I feel like I provide a little bit different than each one of those guys do. I feel like Draymond's the playmaker, the guy that's passing, the one we know to be that guy, the one that runs that warrior offense. PJ being a guy who's been an elite defender most of his career, and then being a guy who knocks down corner threes. And then for me, I feel like I've kind of taken a little bit from each one of them and added the playmaking, the shooting, and then defense especially too. So I feel like it's just like as the league grows, similar to that in the past, how guys get better and better. I feel like that's kind of the approach that I'm trying to take and see, and continuing to improve in that aspect and not get too far ahead of myself where I take advantage of the moment.
Speaking of the moment, talking a little smack to the Miami sideline in Miami. You remember doing that? Or what you said?
We were talking about something else. It was a foul play that necessarily we both not agreed with, and then we were just talking then, because those guys, they're competitive. I wouldn't say we're all trash talkers. You know me, I'm more so like the guy that responds to anything else. So for me, for that, it was more so just we were just discussing something that happened on the court, and then moved on after.
Sure, it was very civil.
Decently enough.
That's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you.
We got one Zoom question, then we'll wrap it up with Jared. Lisa Salters first.
Hey, Grant, just what has it been like playing for Ime this season, particularly when you guys were under 500 earlier in the year, then when you were down 2-3 in the last series, down in this series? What's it been like playing for him? What has he been like?
Encouraging. He's been a leader. He's been a guy that has been there for us night in, night out. I texted him at 4 a.m. after I think that game 5, and he was up just as much as I was. So he's definitely that guy that has that player's kind of intensity and mentality, but also that's the coaching aspect to be able to communicate with you. And that's something that makes him so great and so unique, is that he'd be able to do both sides. And he's been there. He's been there winning teams. He's also been there on teams where they haven't had success. So he knows exactly how to stay through the moment and not focus on the noise. And I think that's what makes him so unique.
Bam had that one huge game in the middle of the series, but hasn't really put a stamp otherwise. What are the, I guess, like the pressure points that you found to prevent him from like attacking space and try to push him kind of more back to forward?
Yeah, Bam is an elite player. He's a guy that growing up with, you kind of seen how he's grown. And he's mid range has gotten so much better, and it's one of those things where you just try your best to keep him between you and the basket and make him take tough shots. Outside of that, you can't focus in on if he scores or not. I feel like that's how you do all these best players in the league. It's one of those things where guys are going to make tough shots every now and again. It's just a matter of making sure that each tough shot's even harder. And for a guy like Bam, how physical he is, how strong he is, you just have to do your best job of withstanding that blow, not letting him kind of bump you off their path and getting directly to the rim, because that's where he really makes an impact, is when he's on the glass, when he's really physical, when he's dunking the ball and everything else, putting the presence on the rim. So making them kind of have to, catch the ball a little bit further out, do things that he's not no more accustomed to, is kind of what I feel like I've tried to do, and try to continue to do the series, because like you said, he's bound to have a game where he has 30, he's bound to have a game where he has 10, he might have a game where he has like more than that. So for us, it's just a matter of understand what we want to give up, and then understand that not everything is going to go our way at times, but we're going to have to do our best to withstand that punch.
Thank you very much for your time, Grant.
Thank you.
I'll wrap it up right there. Thank you.